Graba. Graba ya. Graba. Graba.
Jason,
Check.
grabando, Jason.
Action. Are we rolling?
Check.
We're
1, 2, 1, 2.
rolling.
And we were just
Episode
discussing.
one.
Well, like this is episode 1. We shouldn't call this anything.
Yeah.
We're just having a
Episode
discussion.
Episode one.
But what do you think, Boogie?
I think it's an extension of your brand. It's some Obi-Land something.
I know, but this is like mainly you two. This could be an extension of something that you do in the future or something that Brenda does.
Like Brenda said, it needs an introduction or a name or something.
Well, we can introduce it as just something.
Episode one.
Episode 1. I like that.
No, here's what
Just
I
like
like.
Star Wars.
Here's what I like. I like the
Episode
fact
7. Let's start on 7.
I like the fact that you guys, you've connected here in Colombia. You guys don't know each other from anywhere, but you guys have got along.
We met yesterday.
Yeah.
For the first time.
At like 6 p.m., 7
Yeah,
p.m.
right.
Would you say that there's a bit of trauma bonding here? The reason,
Fuck yeah.
No, the reason
Well, in a way, we could say, because our experiences in Colombia
We have
somehow
shared experiences of getting
took
fucked
in a
over
turn, yeah.
and trusting people who
We just,
violated our trust.
yeah. Okay. That's
Right.
very
Okay.
true.
So for those who don't know or who haven't seen your story, the 147,000 people who haven't watched your
Yeah.
story, Boogie, tell us what happened with you. Just very quickly. No, don't go into the whole thing.
Met
You
a
could-
hot girl in Provenza, went for coffee, was going to take you to the gym, ended up getting shot a few times. It's just a normal,
Oh, yeah. A normal. I just got shot a few times. It's so normal.
He got shot 6 times, and I think he
pretty
I
almost-
was only bleeding for 5 before they passed me up in the hospital, so it was okay. They were following me around with a mop,
But the-
mopping up the blood for 5 hours. I was like, why don't you just put some cloth on gauze? And they said,
They can't?
How much? Like here is
How
the
much
scale.
cost?
No, here's the scale of how much it's cost. I'm like, just do the top one. And let's get it right away.
Wow.
Be careful
That's
about
very-
hitting the mic.
That's very crazy. Now,
apologize.
my experience, on the other hand, was slightly different. I got drugged and robbed here, and like I said the other day, I told him like the last thing I remember is that I got laid down, and he was like,
No, didn't you say like with these 3 faces and
these
gentle
three,
hands?
These 3 women put and gentle
wish that
hands
happened to
laid
me.
me down, and that's when I passed out. Before I got, well, it's like I woke up fucking half naked with my shit on. I wasn't all that great, you know.
But as I was saying, that's slightly better than someone smack you in the face twice with a gun. Like,
Okay, yeah. All
I
right.
would prefer that if someone just gently robbed me. I would be okay with that.
what's the common denominator here? Like,
We're idiots.
We totally should not come back to Colombia,
dumb.
and yet we're.
and that's what I was gonna say. Colombia's the only place, right?
That
you have
fuck up and you
victims.
still want to come back.
Yeah, you have people are victims in
Yeah.
this country, and then they
And
still come
We
back.
know it's our own fault. That's the problem.
to an
Like,
extent, to an extent, it's our fault. I don't think all the way can we.
when you were retelling it and you said they were pushing to come to the house right away, I was like, oh, that's the first red flag.
You know what? Jake should have known that.
He should have.
Jake
should have been a man, Jake. Be
you
a
know
man.
what? Because that was not. It was my first time, but you can't. You
It was
can't
your
talk
first time with 3 girls in Cali?
for sure. Well, not first time with 3 girls. First time with 3 girls in Cali.
That sounds
for
like a
sure.
great story.
No, but I wasn't with them, right?
I understand.
I just.
And you know
it
the
was the
crazy thing,
idealism.
right? Sorry
What's the
to
crazy thing?
interject. They say Cali, they say Medellin is probably more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Yeah,
Thing.
but
Everyone told me Cali is great. And your fam is from Cali.
Yeah,
So,
I'm Caleña. Yo soy Caleña.
so
I am a big advocate. I love Cali. Like, I love the vibrancy. I love the salsa. I love the dance, the culture. In itself, it's actually one of the only cities that has its own culture. When you go, the people, how they interact, it's very different.
Colombia.
I'm sure Medellin and other cities have their own sets of cultures as well, but
But yeah,
like
you
New
got the Paisa
York,
culture, right?
like New York, it's a very distinctive culture. The people, the way you go out. So
From what I understand, Colombians would definitely agree with that. Like your regional differences make you
Yeah.
who you are as an identity as a
is.
city.
it is very true.
And like you're saying for salsa, like that's where the salsa festival is, right? In Cali?
Well, they have,
no?
so it's called, it's La Feria.
La Feria.
And it's todos los diciembre, so every December from the 26th to the 1st. It's about 7 days, and they do different things, right? Different parades, different dance festivals, concerts. I mean, it's a whole fun thing. And imagine right after Christmas, like after you're kind of in the best time with your
the best
family,
mood,
in the
yeah.
best mood, it
And
really is.
you get love for
But,
people.
One of the
let me
lively
ask you
things.
guys one question. Like,
Please.
I know we've been talking all positive stuff, and Obiland is not a positive channel, but it is because we're spreading awareness on certain
Yeah.
things.
It's
But
reality.
yeah, it's reality. Where do you think more crime happens in Colombia, from your perspective?
America.
In Colombia.
Okay, but okay, even
No.
if, when we're talking about America, do you feel, okay, Brenda, do you
No.
feel safer in Colombia than you feel in the States? I've had people have this conversation with me and they say to me, you know what, I don't care what happens in Colombia, I feel safe, way safer in Colombia than I feel in the States, than in New York. In New York, you wouldn't get away with this
Well,
shit, man.
New
I
York's
think
just
it's very
grimy, though.
different. There are certain things that I feel safer in New York. Like I feel safer, having my phone out. I feel safer walking the street. I feel in certain areas. Like I'm not gonna go to Harlem. Well, Harlem's not being gentrified, by the way.
I
but
thought it was the
I'm
cheapest place to
worried,
rent now.
well,
That's
from
what
my
it is.
understanding, they're looking to gentrify.
That's
so.
where I'd be looking to buy. I mean, move, rent, Harlem. This is a new spot.
No, well, maybe I
Queens
don't
girl
know,
says
but
no.
I'm a Queens girl. I'm a Queens, so anything outside of Queens, I don't know as far as the thing goes. But pretty much, I believe that there are certain things that feel safer there. Also, the cops over there, like
New
over
York
here,
compared
they
to
feel
here?
like your enemy.
That's
You don't want to get
true.
stopped
That's
because you're
very
thinking
true.
about, do I have to pay them off? Are they gonna like me? Over there, it's like they're kind of set to a different standard.
Yeah, because they got body cams now, and everyone's like
they're
YouTubing
they're
them.
they're monitored to a degree that
Thank God.
that I'm sure the corruption back then went
But
upon a
any
time.
country where we're perceived as a gringo or as the foreigner, and where we've got more money, there's going to be people who are going to take advantage. It doesn't matter where it is in the world.
But imagine you being your own people and feeling like your cop, the people who are supposed to protect you, is going to take from you if you get stopped by them. I think that's a little bit fucked up, don't you think?
I guess.
But it's so weird because at the end of the day, it's part of the culture.
That's
and it's
Thailand as well.
accepted. It's accepted. So
But it's not every cop. It's like,
no, I think again, Colombian people are really great. I think, and I
I agree.
I
Like
add
the
my
majority
foot
of
to
people are
that.
freaking awesome.
You
That's
know?
why we love this country, because
And-
people are part of the country, right?
are the way we
You're
are.
Colombian.
I just saw you.
And you
They
got
Cali.
drugged and
They
robbed over
Cali.
here, and you're back in
And
Colombia.
I'm here, and I will continue to be an advocate. Yeah, you know what? Shit happens. You live, you learn.
And you meet good people.
I wouldn't have met any of you guys if
So
it wasn't
Obi
for
Land
my
connecting
experience.
people
in a
across
sense.
the world.
Yeah.
Right.
So
okay.
it's all love.
All right. Let's just move on
Sorry, we're
to
supposed to be dark. I forgot.
this
No.
next topic. I think that is, thoughts on sexual tourism
Oh.
here in
That's a good
Colombia.
topic.
Boogie, are you a
I-
sexual
shall I
tourist? I know,
start as
Boogie. I know
as-
you personally.
I'm
Right? You're not.
perceived as a
You're not a
sexual-
sexual tourist.
I know.
I thought when I first met you,
That
you
it
were saying
was.
the story of the girl who kidnapped you and got the guys to like shoot you 6 times. And
Right.
I thought that you were like, bullshit.
Dog.
Yeah, I thought.
Like she came back to haunt
Yeah.
his ass.
Yeah, I thought
Whatever
I
you
really,
did to her, what
I
you
really,
did to
but
her.
I've been with this guy on the streets, right? And he's just like completely like, you see, with me, like I do my mongering thing. You understand?
Yeah.
Like
Mongering. That is such
Yeah,
a specific
but
term.
he-
And he
I feel like
likes
only
it
the
though.
people
He
that
embraces
know-
it.
Yeah, the only people who
I
do it
think
know
I
what that
think that's
means.
fine. Embrace who you are, man.
So-
Be
so
a
but what
monger.
is
That's
your
part of
thought-
being a man. Like every man does that at some stage or wants to do that.
But what are your thoughts then on sexual tourism here? Like,
So
in
that's
general
an
in
interesting
Colombia?
question, because when I first saw in the hotels the no sex tourists, I thought it was just anti-prostitution in general, even knowing that it was legal here. But then I realized it was very specifically to minors. And there was a culture of
Yeah.
fucking dudes coming to try and sleep with girls here, which
Okay,
is
but can
really
I-
fucked up.
Can I interject?
Of course.
Because I get to be, and I'm not even being an advocate. I'm a girl, but I'm not there's some girls that say they're 16, they'll come up to you and they say, I'm 18, I'm 20, and they know what they're looking for.
Chicken ID.
So to what point though? Because fake
Every
ID's
time.
here.
I
Fake
suppose,
ID's
but
here.
still.
What are you gonna know? How are you
Yeah.
gonna know?
If they
Like-
look too young, maybe that's the key.
Uh, What's young though? See, that's the problem, because you're identifying young as a number. I identify it as like a state of mind. And so like for
agree.
me, you know, like for example, as a
I
woman,
agree with both, by the way.
as a woman, like maybe this is different. Maybe I'd like to know this
because obviously
perspective.
a woman's perspective and the male perspective.
Well, yeah, but here's what I'll say. Like when it came to me, you know, to potentially date a younger man, it never occurred to me. I never really wanted that. And it was never something that, because it was always about, they're not, like, to me, it was never mature enough. It was never like what I wanted out of a relationship. It always felt like games. So as a man, though, you guys have a different perspective because you guys lead. So the woman tends to follow. So I want to know a little bit about that
If you
side.
meet a woman who like who respects you enough, then
But
she'll
we're
follow.
talking about teenagers who aren't women, they're kids.
Oh,
They
okay.
don't
kids,
really
yeah.
don't have their life experience
how many of them-
formed to really
Yeah.
make good judgments at that
Some of them
age.
even have dads, man.
Which is why they're protected by the law to a degree. So the fact that people come here specifically for that, and there's a reputation, the hotels know it, the guys are trying to take in like
Do
young
stuff,
girls,
yeah.
and the guys keep on getting busted doing that. Like that's a pretty fucked up
That
thing
is.
to have as a wanted destination, a reason
Yeah,
for
I
people
think
to want
it's
to go
very
there.
different from like you actually wanting to, you know, just work, and that's the way you live your like.
But
But can I just add to that? I heard a rumor about the Cayman Islands, because in the Caribbean, like sexual abuse and stuff is really shunned. And apparently, my friend was a detective from UK, but working in Cayman, she was saying it was a known place where like pedophiles told each other to go there because like it's the laws are lax and like could get away with shit, which is also a really fucked up reputation to have.
It's really sad. I mean, have you guys heard about how like now, you know, the whole LGBTQ bod, bing, bong, boom, bang, all of
The
it.
alphabet people.
No, but now they're trying, like pedophiles are actually trying to
Oh, that's some
identify
bullshit.
themselves as
Some
children.
minor attracted something.
Because they're children, they could, I think, you know, that's a little
That's
bit.
just some bullshit.
But besides that, because that's not sex tourism, it's completely a different topic.
Chemical castration.
right. Okay. So here in Colombia, you know, some people may say that, you know, the women don't have a choice. That's why they do what they do. That's why some of them who are in that life. Right?
Who says that?
Well, I've heard some people say that they don't have a choice.
Even some girls feel like they don't. Like if their mom was, and like if their family expects something
I mean,
from
usually
them.
the young girls because they've had a baby, and that's like the easiest way to get money.
Yeah, but you getting pregnant by an extranjero that never shows up, like that ain't good either.
It's really bad judgment, but like they don't have the life experience to realize that
do
at the
it.
time. So they kind of, I guess, to a degree,
But my thing-
sometimes some girls are forced into that corner where they don't see any other
I
option.
think it's necessity. I definitely think it's necessity, but it's choice, because you see people here in Colombia begging on the street. You see them, you know, painting themselves up. Like you see different types of people who actually look to maintain themselves and their families. So it's all a choice. And that's not just here. I think that's everywhere.
Maybe it's a bit of both. There's people who are just lazy and opportunistic, and there's people who have no choice whatsoever. Like everything's a scale, right? There's no definite.
But it's still a choice. I choose to
don't
be
think-
lazy and opportunistic, or I choose to go and work my ass off. Like, it's not one or the other. I choose that my life experiences made me this way. I choose that my life
Not
experiences
everyone
don't.
has the
Unfortunately.
opportunity to always make those choices in the same way as us.
Maybe
or
you
you-
can say intellectually they don't, maybe educationally they don't, but choice, we were born with it. Choice is there. Like our now I get what you're saying. You're like Shakespeare.
So the girls on the street who were like dancing and stuff, someone told me they were like indigenous, but mafia-run gangs. I don't know if that's true or not. Do you know if that's true?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. Okay, so keep going, because I want to hear the rest of that.
So that is just a scam, and like they're just collecting money to give to the boss.
Yes, pimping.
I think it's a scam, like, but they're collecting money for themselves because they've seen it's the easiest option. You mean the people that you see,
Yeah,
like,
the dad
in
would-
The only
like
way they
around-
know is money.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's doing that. Like, not everybody, but I've seen this old lady who, like, she only comes out at night at parqueeras, and then she just like, you know, please, money, You know, and
I
it's
have seen
very
that
obvious.
lady
It's
all
very
around
obvious
that square block.
Yeah, it's
She's,
very obvious that in the beginning there was a genuine need, and then she realized that
well,
But she might be
That this is
losing
now
it
the
a
way
bit
of
because she'll
making money.
literally do a circle, then
Andrew.
come back and ask you 2 seconds later on the same
They
street.
never
hold on.
remember
Can
who
I
they
tie
asked for
that?
money
Can I tie
anyway.
that into something?
Tighten
Like
it.
in America, right? If you're homeless, you are actually, your income is minimum about $10,000 yearly. That's just from begging on the street. So
okay.
so as a beggar, someone who chooses to be opportunistic or whatever the
She's
case
very
may
anti-beggar,
be,
this girl.
no, I know
I'm
I know that
anti-beggar.
life is hard, and I know that there's people who close doors and never give people who genuinely need help opportunity. But I also get to look at it another side. Like, there's so much you can be a victim to yourself, and to your story, and to what happened, and to where you are, and to the poverty, and to your country. Like, there is no lack of place in me that cannot say I cannot choose someday to like look at things in a different perspective to get out of wherever the fuck I'm in.
Maybe your life experience might not allow you to have that perspective.
There's no life experience. Is it? That's it. That's the experience. Like you learn. You learn. You mess up. You wake up. You get up. You gotta be. Like there's no
if
other.
you have the opportunity to do that, but if you grow up in a slum and all you know is like looking through garbage dumps,
but then
it's hard to see
how
outside
many
that.
success stories do you not see people? So yes, here's
many.
where I'm gonna go with you.
Not many.
Here's where I'm gonna go with you. Actually, there's many people who are millionaires who came from absolutely nothing.
I don't think there's that many. I mean, there are some, but in the general population of humans versus millionaires, they don't really
No,
count.
I'm sure. But I'm
Yeah,
saying there
I
are.
think that they're more normal people than millionaires. Obviously.
Okay, maybe like middle
No, they
class.
definitely
Yeah,
are.
Maybe
but
came from poverty to a middle class or upper
you can't
middle
worry
class.
about the few people being successful. You got to worry about the majority of people and what's best for
But you
everyone.
know what? You get to look at the few people because there's something that they did that got them out of the societal view of I am a victim to this.
But then they should share their wealth with their fellow human people.
But you know, I
They
can
shouldn't hoard
extend.
it all.
It's not about wealth. That's the billionaires. You're talking about like
definitely is.
the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts.
Yes,
I'm
all
talking
those
about
guys.
just the general people. They offer education, they offer help, but then there's people who victimize themselves too much.
In America, in Colombia, anywhere in the world now,
Everywhere.
it is rich versus poor. And like you see it onto an extreme scale here because we have a better quality of life where we live.
We have what it is, we just have a better, like they teach us a little bit more to how to use a better percentage of our brain. What's Rockefeller's quote? I don't want to create a government of entrepreneurs.
Independent
I
thinkers,
want workers.
Yeah.
So our society is shaped to have class systems to
But
keep
that's the whole
the
industrial
mentality
revolution. Why
at a certain
school
level.
is the way it is. So you can
I
work in a
cannot
factory.
get out of this. I cannot get out of this. I have to go to school. I have to, get into this certain type of debt to get out of it. But the thing is, that's where it's a choice because it clicks at some point in your mind. There's something that happens. It's normally a traumatic event where you're like, you know what? I don't want that to happen to me again. And I'm not going to go back to it. So it really is a choice. And there's nothing, Boogie.
So hey, we started with talking about the people in the street who are begging.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, and then-
I think that's a discussion and a debate that we can
move forward
Yeah.
from that. Let's go. What's the next question?
Donald Trump.
Bring it rolling.
Donald Trump.
So basically, wait, just to summarize, Brenda says begging is a choice. Let's go.
To
Brenda
an
said what?
extent, begging is a choice. Yes.
Okay, I'm just
And you
summarizing.
disagree with that?
I mean, I just said I think in all situations,
I think
people don't
there-
have a choice. That's all. Moving on. Trump. Who doesn't love Trump?
Well, anyway, okay, we'll get back to begging being a choice, but anyway,
Make America gay again.
Brenda, you're American. How do you feel
God.
about Donald Trump?
All right. First,
Did you vote, by the way?
no, but here's the thing. Because if I vote, I'm voting independent all the way. I do not believe in
does that
political
do?
parties.
Well, you have to.
You know,
Okay.
actually, if there was, I believe if it was 30% majority independents in the next political race, the
could
independent
win?
they have to make them a part of the race.
That's what our family was trying to do last
so
time.
Okay,
there's-
but here's the thing, right? I understand that you Donald Trump is the president right now.
I got it. He's
right?
the president.
How
Let's
do you
see.
feel about Donald Trump being the president of your country right now?
Excited.
I'm kind of like both ways on it. I don't know how to take it.
Rich
He
people
did.
are gonna get richer.
Well, then guess what? I'm gonna get richer.
What?
And
But
Boogie,
my
how do you feel
mentality's
about Trump?
changing, and you know what? There's certain things that his mindset looks a certain way, and I can't deny it that it kind of works, you know. So unfortunately, yes, he can be slightly piece of shitish and like
Very divisive, racist,
over vulgar and very opinionated, but
sexist.
extremely and racist and probably all other sorts of things.
So the reason I brought up Donald Trump is because obviously in the news,
the tax thing of the
not just the tax, you know,
How it
the
affecting Colombia?
the story where the spat that he had with the president of Colombia, Petro, where they went back and forth because Trump was like deporting
so many
you
people,
know, so
and
many
they were
people,
like sending
illegal
back.
immigrants back to Mexico and back here to Colombia. And, you know, he did so on a military plane and Petro was like, hell, no, there's protocol. There are ways to do things. Like, what are your opinions on that?
I
think it makes
Like,
sense. to
people
use
have
the
literally
military.
been separated
guess,
from their
you know
families
what?
because of that.
I can see Petro saying like there's a certain level of respect. Like just because you think you're American doesn't mean like you can just tell me what I have to do with my country or my people or like I get that to a degree. But again, it's kind of like
If they're illegal to the country should be allowed to take them out of the country. Like, if they're
Yes.
using army planes, what does it matter? Like, they're still going to the destination. I don't think it's disrespectful.
I just found it interesting, like the way just Trump, he put like, when Petro was like, no, we're not taking these people, he was like, okay, I'm going to put
attack you.
It's like a
25%
power
tax.
play, yeah.
Yeah.
And he won.
because it's a strategy. Well, then Colombia tried to tax American goods at 50%.
Can you imagine how some of the passport bros would feel if, like, you know, they started deporting passport bros or denying
everyone's talking
them
about.
entry into
They-
Colombia
they-
to see their mi amors?
That would, oh my goodness, that would be a whole war on its own. There'd be civil war towards Trump right away. Like, fuck you, let me go back to see my woman. Women, not woman, women.
Muchas chicas.
Yeah.
Some guys would be like, you know, completely, you know, devastated by if that happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing, Boogie, your opinion on Trump is it overall positive, negative?
No, I mean,
as an
good and bad.
Australian,
See
as
how
an
it plays
Aussie?
out. He's still probably going to make rich people richer and like fund war. So we'll see. But then he obviously appeals to a lot of people for good reasons because
But
he
Harris
does.
was not a better option.
No, that was
and-
terrible. That was like ridiculous.
You know, I don't think, I think it was set up, like, I honestly see political party as a scheme. And at the end of the day, they're just puppets that we don't see the masterminds behind it. And Donald Trump.
We saw that with Obama. Exactly the same shit.
It's just a puppet. Like you go to Burger
Bush,
King, you ask for the manager,
Obama.
you'll never see the owner. The same thing with governments. You go, you see a face, but you'll never actually see
But
who's
also,
pulling
it
the
seems
strings.
to be the deaths by drones are going up. So Obama beat Bush, but Trump beat Obama. But Trump more successfully buried the information, so you don't know he killed more people with drone strikes than Obama did. So.
Well, because
times, good times.
Obama was under a microscope because of his color, because of
And he still killed more people than Bush. So like,
But again, all I'm saying is when you're under a microscope, you're viewed and judged in a different light. Trump being white and
he's
white
been
being a
able to
majority
manipulate
popularity
that
and manipulate.
microscope.
And he's an actor. I mean, he had how many TV shows? He had time.
he's a showman. He's like
He had time to produce his greatest
huckster.
production, which is being a president.
yeah, he's freaking realized his dream and made it happen.
And that's why he was like, I want to be president again. Fuck this shit. I don't
That's why
care what
people
you throw
appeal
at
to-
me.
That's why he appeals to people.
It does.
He's like a larger-than-life
Now,
character.
I'll be honest with you. Me personally, I love Trump.
Yeah, right.
Now the reason, and I know you guys are.
No, but most guys are
Brenda,
me
you
in
looked at me.
Colombia, too.
You gave me that. You gave me that funny look. Now,
You know, I
I
don't-
love Trump because I admire guys who speak their mind and
Okay.
follow through
And
on
what they're saying.
What they're
Every
saying.
guy I meet in Colombia likes Trump, I think. It's a very general, it's a similar
And
mindset.
I think like his message, Trump's message, has been consistent, especially
has. Yeah.
political message.
Yeah.
How he's been, I've seen
What he's
videos of
done.
him like 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and has the same thoughts, same ideas that he has today. So I think he's
Wasn't that an
consistent.
interview where he said he'd probably run, he did say he'd run Republican? Even though he was a Democrat? He's being interviewed and they're like, you're a Democrat. He's like, yeah, but if I ran, I'd probably run as a Republican.
Well,
Which
I don't
shows
watch- I
the
don't
complete
watch
disrespect
live.
for the two-party system because they're just the same as each other.
No,
It's just like,
they're created to create a sense of choice, to create a sense of freedom, to
and
create
there
a
is
sense
none.
of.
There is none.
There is none. You're all
does
stuck.
anybody want any drinks or anything
Yes,
like that?
please. Can I get
Hell
a
yeah.
shot?
I would do something.
I would.
Jason.
If you don't mind me
I need-
taking out.
I
of
need
the
some water.
bottle.
Oh, shit. Oh, my legs.
Don't fall though. But you gotta sit back down. Thank you.
No, continue.
Mm.
Can I grab some water?
No, don't cut it.
Ajá. No lo pare.
Varias sacarle una porque ya tiene que venir, pero
Okay.
casi medio.
Did I fuck up
So,
the water focus?
No.
Huh?
Well,
Yeah, but you can sit down if you want.
maybe
Yeah, I
we
just
could
wanna
do
grab
like
some water.
two more topics
Yeah, I've
and then
got some
call
more.
it a night. 'Cause
Yeah, I've got some
I
more.
know.
So like,
No.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot my legs weren't working when I stood up. That wasn't cool.
Right. Cool.
Be careful. All right. But
All
let's
right.
can we move off the Trump? No,
Yeah, I think we got too political.
yeah, I definitely don't want us to get
Basically,
too
fuck
political.
Trump.
Okay, I'm gonna have to like take that out
Okay.
because I think the peeps, some of my viewers from the analytics
gonna
Trump
pro
supporters,
Trump.
I
and
like
then
him.
you're Aussie, you're Australian. You have no right to be talking about the president
I
of
do.
the free
They
world like
affect the
that.
world. I can totally talk about Trump. He affects my day-to-day life. But I'm saying, like, I like Trump, but also for
And
Trump.
most of your fans, the people who respect you, who saw you, fight against two armed men.
Yeah, that's
right?
a very
they
fight,
seem
fight,
like
fight.
Trump supporters. So
That's the mentality. He's right. He's
But-
right about a lot of shit.
Yeah. He's
Anyway,
he's
come
just his
front.
character. But
Come
let's
front.
move forward.
let's move on. Let's take
All
it
right.
back because I don't want this
What's
to go on
next?
too long.
What's next?
Let's take this back to Medellin here, right?
Okay.
Nightlife
City
in
of
Medellin.
eternal
I
spring.
do.
Nightlife in Medellin.
Some of the best in the world. It's like fucking. Isn't it the top 30 coolest cities in the world now?
I
I don't
actually
know.
I
that.
believe so. I believe
Oh,
it
well,
is. Yeah.
But, okay, let's be honest, right?
There is such a good diverse
If
of
you
like.
take away for many
For many people,
guys,
the
women,
the pros,
the pros,
yeah,
this place
would be dead.
would be dead.
Cali would still be the
Ah,
spot.
you
Yes.
Cali would still be the spot.
If you take away the pros from Medellin, what does Medellin
But
really
there's been
have?
an explosion in the passport bureaus in the past 10 years. It was still a fun, popping, lively city before that because it had like leftover money from, previous eras. So like it
I
wasn't.
think previous years ago, 10 years ago, even 20 years ago, it wasn't a fun city, as you
No,
said.
but
It was a
about
dangerous
20
city.
20 years ago,
I've
they
been
took-
going for 6 years. How long you lived here now?
5 years.
So
Right,
not
okay.
much longer,
Right.
but he's correct about
So
even
when did
30,
Provenza
20
start popping?
Let's say about 30 years ago now, because Escobar
No,
was on
I
my
think
time.
from,
I was
I showed
young.
you
I was
like
a
clips
baby.
from 2016 over here,
Because he created a
2015.
lot of wealth that was distributed.
Yeah.
So you suddenly had people who had money. So there was places to go and stuff to do. Like
I'm sure there is. And
Before
no,
the
and I'm
passport
not a
price. That's
hater.
my whole
I'm not
point,
a
I think.
hater. Being Colombian and Caleña, no, I'm not hating because I've loved coming here, and when I've come, I've had an absolutely amazing time.
But with this explosion of the nightlife and the explosion of tourism here in Medellin, there's also now become a lot of, violence, crime,
Yeah.
druggings. You were almost kidnapped. You were shot 6 times.
so I
That
do
comes
feel like
with
it
it.
has just been steadily escalating.
Yeah. Well, can I just add to something else that kind of made Medellin also very popular? It's artists. Reggaeton and that Latin music
cool
being
city.
such a hype a lot of the artists came out of here, you know, and they started from here. And so, you know, when you think that way, that's also another reason why the city became like Provincia. Like, it was not as popping as it was until after Karol G made a song about it. So you think, you think about these things, like, honestly, the people who come out of your city also influence how your city gets viewed, how people come, how people travel there, and they made their city the best, you know, in
That's
the
what I'm saying.
sense
It
of
was
one of the
before the
most.
passport bros. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so
I did.
still talking about the nightlife. I think
Okay.
I might insert the clip
Some of the best in the world.
into this
Yeah.
episode 1 of whatever
All
the
right.
name of the No Name podcast or the No whatever, right?
For
Yesterday,
yeah,
something crazy happened
completely.
And Provenza.
in Provenza.
Talking about it, so spinning off.
And
of
the
it.
Obiland team were there to capture exactly what happened. We're going to call this guy Daniel, right?
Daniel.
As we
Danny boy.
were like, you know, doing a recording of both of you, Brenda and Boogie and Brenda, this guy, he like, explain, just tell the viewers what happened.
Well, what I saw, honestly, I saw just this American just grab a woman like this, and then he started saying like help me, police, and she started running away. Like, next thing I knew, she got out
So
of his
why do you
arms.
think she was running away? Because she tried to say that he
Because he assaulted her.
he was assaulting her.
Yeah,
But
'cause
she was
first he
actually on a
grabbed her
date with
wrist.
someone.
No, because they were on a date apparently, but the thing was
Yeah, she was with another guy and
randomly
he tried to grab her.
grabbing, you know, and like holding on. And he said police a couple of times before she actually tried to get away. Like, at first, I think she was
Like,
just a
she
stunt.
knew she was busted.
she understood something was
She was
going
like,
on.
oh no, I fucked
Because
this
she was
guy
on a
over and
date
he's
with
got
another
me.
guy. She was on a date with another guy. The guy, Daniel, let's call him Daniel, for now.
Danny.
Daniel realized that this was the girl who drugged him. She was on a date in Provenza with another guy.
So it wasn't
And
even planned. He was on his way to meet someone.
He was on his way to meet someone, and then
Their incident was months ago as well.
It was prior,
and then he saw her,
and took the opportunity.
and he took the opportunity, and then she just tried to run.
Yeah.
She really did.
And she ran
she-
fast,
She
man.
ran
I saw
quick.
that cheetah. Like, one moment she was in my eyes, the next moment she was in between like a path. I was like, holy
But
shit.
you would have thought for the way she ran, I don't know, the
I
repercussions.
honestly,
that
I
she
thought
should
for a
have
minute
had.
you guys lost her.
No, but Daniel wasn't giving up.
He
No,
was- he was
he
on
kept
her,
he
yeah.
kept on. But then that also shows, like, that shows that something happened. Like, there's no way that this American guy in a third world country, you
Yeah,
know,
she knew.
will do something like that. Like, even if you were trying to like rape her or do something, like, it wouldn't have been that way. You know, there was just no
An
way
innocent person would be like, no,
that
no,
just
they
a
would just
random
try to
person
run.
will
Yeah,
decide
exactly,
to do
yeah.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
But
There
that's
had
what
to
she
have
tried
been a
to do at
trigger.
the end.
Yeah.
She tried to what?
That's what she tried
She
to do
tried
at the
to
end
say
when
it
the
was just
police came.
nothing.
And how did you feel? Because you guys were actually
Yeah.
there. Like, I might
Yeah.
insert that clip into
No.
this
Yeah,
video.
I started
this-
running towards it
Yeah,
too.
you guys were actually there. How do you feel like when the police and everything came around? How do you think the police reacted to that situation?
Well, I walked up to the outdoor food place and got the armed guys to come and telling them we needed police, but
Right.
they were very slow to respond.
Yeah.
They strolled over there eventually.
I think that's the case with Colombian police. I mean,
They're very casual.
we bust these scope queens and
They're
stuff,
cool.
but the process here is just so
Very
Laid back.
very laid back and
It's part, you know, it's part of the system. It's a broken system. You know, when you're in a broken government, like, yes, the people are beautiful, the country is beautiful, and it's lavish, and it can grow
And it's
so
had
much.
like endemic
but
corruption for
and
like
power,
60, 70 years. What is it? How long?
Greed. And you know what? If you only were to wake up and know that there was enough for everyone and more than that, what kind of world we'd have.
But there's a lot more poor people in Colombia than America. But there's also, to be rich in Colombia, you have to be richer than an American because they have an import that makes all American like luxury goods even way more expensive. So you got to be balling to be rich in Colombia. And there's the complete opposite. There's a lot of poor people. It's
But it's corruption. It's corruption. It's power. I mean, at the end of the day, let's go back to the Daniel story because we're not talking about politics. I think we've kind of established that. So Daniel caught this girl. He's holding her for dear life. She's saying, everyone get the F out of my face. Who the heck is this? We're trying to figure out. At some point, we get the purse out of her hands. But I believe you said that you saw her put her hand in the...
Yeah, because
she threw the bag.
She threw the bag. We went to get the bag, or the Obiland team went to get the bag. And then...
Because she was prepared to ditch the bag.
And she threw away the scopolamine because trying to get the evidence, she threw it away.
Yeah.
And then the cops came, the police came, and then it was just like, it just went into panic.
Yeah. It was hard. It was very, at the end of the day, look, let's just cut the story short. You might see it in the future.
You will.
And so at the end of the day, they let her go because it had happened previously. So in that moment, she was not a criminal. They could not attain her.
Well, I'm not sure that she was let go.
Well, they followed her to some point. So they potentially...
I'm going to counter that because I said, they definitely, she's
in the system now.
She's in the system.
She's known to be a one.
She's in it, but that's the thing. I think in Colombia, just things are just so slow. And then they have these videos where, okay, 2 weeks ago they said the scope queen of Parquilleras has been caught. I think sometimes the Colombian government or the mayor of Medellin, he goes through phases where he wants to demonstrate to tourists that they're doing something about the drug. It's safe.
That's what they do. But at the end of the day, yeah, they got her information, they exchanged it. But what did they really do? They showed her, as long as she had nothing on her person, you know. As long as
she threw away.
As long as she threw away. And
I'm gonna correct that narrative.
No, we definitely
all saw that. I'm just saying it like, look, just think of it in a third perspective. Even whether she did or didn't, right? She had nothing on her person. This is an extranjero, someone who's not from your country, saying this act happened with very little evidence. You know,
which is why he was right to hold her at first, because if the police had come and she hadn't got
they would
away
have let her go to
had
begin
her bag
with.
and she had the scoop in there, it would have been a lot worse. That's
For
what
sure. I'm sure.
He had the right reaction to grab her on the spot.
I'm sure had they found something
I'm not
on
sure.
her person, they would have
I think
maybe...
the right reaction would have been to like follow her or monitor her. That's what I would have. You know,
I would have.
Yeah, the police first, and then
maybe
go,
attain
hey,
her, take her to to the house, take her report down, and then let her go home, and from there kind of show her that you're not necessarily just allowing her to walk away.
No, I think busting her with a scoop on her and getting her in jail is the best result.
Yeah, but...
Or maybe giving her a dose of her own
medicine.
That guy, he said
honestly,
and he was a big
dude.
He was a big dude.
The detective said if he had more, he would have died. That's like crazy, yo. She could have killed him.
Because he said that literally, like he just had a sip and he slept for
the tiniest sip,
14 hours.
It was forced too.
Yeah.
So on top of that, I mean, man, it's not a joke. I don't even know how much I had. To be honest, when I woke up, I actually was okay. Like, I wasn't shaky, like, too much. I was a little bit still distortioned. But, like, Jake, on the other hand, was, like, flat out.
He was completely out.
Flat out. So, like, he definitely had a bigger dose.
Saying you have a high tolerance.
Well, potentially, or they gave him a bigger dose because he's a bigger dude. And they maybe had more sympathy for me because I'm a woman, or they got to know me because I speak Spanish, whatever the case may be. But it's like, how do you play games? How do you measure it?
How did you feel when you woke up? Did you when you get scoped, right? How do you feel violated? Like
I think you always feel violated when anyone like takes advantage of you.
You want revenge.
For sure. You
got revenge. You feel you got revenge?
I definitely got some sort of revenge, some sort of justice. You know, it hurt her. You know, it hurt her where it hurts her. It's gonna hurt her in her pocket, and it's gonna hurt her in her visual. Like, she's not gonna be able to walk the streets or do what she does, like, as casually as she was doing it. So at the end of the day, you know, yeah, she hurt me, but it hurt her where it hurt her. As I mentioned, like, I don't have hate towards her. Her life clearly made her kind of pick a certain path that felt the best in her moment. Maybe she was like, I don't want to.
She said it was all about choices.
It is about choice. And then it was her choice. Do I want to ask a man to pay for me? Or do I want to drug and rob him. Like, it's the choice of,
It's a
do I want to
choice.
get fucked by different men,
And
or do I
I
want
think
to?
here's the thing, because I was speaking
Because
about.
I did get both immediate physical revenge and then long-term legal revenge, I guess.
Yeah, because the girl who tried to kidnap you, she's in prison,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
For like, 25 years or
and
something?
apparently the person who's behind it all,
Her partner,
not
the
even
Canadian-
apparently, for a
Canadian
fact,
guy,
because
yeah.
I've been speaking with people
Wow.
behind the scenes in the judicial system. I said the word right.
Yeah,
Judicial.
Yeah.
Judicial.
I can say it now,
It's official.
judicial, guys.
The Judicial Project.
Yeah, Brenda was having a hard
podcast.
time saying
Actor.
judicial
I sounded like
in
a whole-
some other thing anyway. But yeah,
It's very judicious of you.
so the girl
Judicious.
who attempted to have you kidnapped with her boyfriend, who's Canadian, she's now in jail in Cali doing 25 years.
I
Yeah.
feel
And
good
I've been
about that.
speaking to Abby, right? And apparently the guy's trying to go back to
Canada, right?
To Canada, saying he had nothing to do with it, and he may be successful.
And that,
But can you imagine a fellow gringo setting up gringos?
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I think we should not let him go back.
that's
Yeah.
but that's how you start to see like the maliciousness of
Yeah.
things, like, and
Or the power of money.
also the power of money, but like, how malicious do you have to be to go after?
Your
Not, I
Yeah,
wouldn't even
like-
say your own kind, or just be like, to that degree,
I mean,
people,
I don't really
you
think
know,
it matters. He's just obviously an opportunistic criminal who doesn't care about other people.
people.
Because
That's
what he
why I
was
said
doing,
people. I
like,
didn't say
he got the girl, right, to go out with guys like you, Boogie, right? And then they take you
pretend
to an
to be super
Airbnb,
normal and not-
and then he never shows up on the scene,
No.
right? Then he's got his Colombian hired
His minions.
hitmen,
His street
criminals
thugs.
Yeah.
to squeeze you for your money, and then he gets
They
your
let
card
you go.
details, and
And
then
there's
they let
another
you go.
team to receive the funds, apparently.
Yeah. So
it's all the same.
anyway, it is what it is. We're coming up to now like 40 minutes of
So
this
we're-
episode
we're
one.
coming up
I think
to-
1
we
a.m.
should wrap it up.
Yeah,
Let's
we
wrap it
definitely
up.
wrap
Let's
it
wrap it up.
Let's
Listen,
get
guys,
down to
thank
the-
you very much for sharing your thoughts with me and with the wider public. Hopefully, we get to do this again, and we have a part 2, episode 2.
Episode 2 with no
Yes.
name.
All right, cool, man.
Judicial.
Judicial.
Judicious.
Okay.
Judicious? What the fuck?
Judicious. I change all the words, by the way.
All right. Should
All
we
the
cut?
words.
Cut.
All right,
Cut.
cut.
Thank the gods.
No, you know what?
Photo.